So I fucked up. I did. And it got me to thinking because not because of the cancel reaction or whatever. Like it's just really still hard for me to take that seriously. Um but a friend, so what made me really pivot and think about it, cuz I feel like this could have been another thing where I just kind of went over it and was just like, okay, whatever, like, internet's going to be the internet. But I realized that I fucked up. Tremor? Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. I realized that I fucked up when I called my friend and she picked up crying. That's that's when it like that's when it really hit. And I I don't I just didn't want to be a person that makes their friends feel like that. It was yeah, she was crying. And it's crazy because I always considered, and this is not me taking any of the blame out, like I fucked up, guys. I am so sorry. I apologize to everybody that I hurt with those kinds, with that word. And it's totally out of my vocabulary. It won't happen again. It was a mistake. And this is not to discredit anybody who's saying that I had problems for saying that. I totally agree. It was fucked. That should not have been in my vocabulary, period. Whether it was with just a friend or whether it was with, you know, like people, or just like, like in a like, even I think even in a video game, you know what I mean? And it got me to thinking a lot. It's what made me, oh, how did I get here was the first thing that I thought. And I thought, how the fuck did I get to a position where I'm the guy calling a friend laughing and I hear my friend on the other line crying? That was a really big wake up call. Like it was a really big slap in the face because to be honest, at that moment in time, I didn't realize how big of a thing I had done to her. Because by saying that, it wasn't just a joke at that point. It was something that I wasn't aware at the time, but I should have been. Because I'm her friend, I should have been more aware also. And the connotation, I should have been. But I really hurt her. Her parents called and her parents were also crying, and my mom had to pretty much apologize on my behalf again to her parents. And then I thought again, how did I get here? Like, how did I get here to this point where, like, I have to have my parents apologizing for me on my behalf? It's like, and it really got me thinking. And it took me a while because in the beginning, it was just like, it felt like a pity party almost. It felt like just me trying to blame everybody else. Like, yo, blah, 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 blah. They're just hating. It's these people because I banned them from chat and all that stuff, right? In the beginning, it just felt like that. It really did. And then I slowly started to realize that I had made a problem. And I took an illusion of freedom as being able to not just say what's on my mind, but say things that weren't even on my mind. Just say things out of fucking thin air without thinking. Do you think leaving JYP has made you lash out on her somehow? It wasn't, I'm gonna be completely honest. It wasn't ever meant to be hateful. It wasn't ever meant to be a diss at her. It wasn't ever meant to hurt her. So this is why, that was why I was so surprised, and it was such a wake-up call when I called her and she was crying. And I was like, whoa. It's not about the attention, it's about how the feelings come across. I agree with that. And that's what I realized. I really realized, and I've said this a lot too. I got carried away. Facts. I said this a lot too. Jokes aren't jokes unless both parties understand that joke. And obviously, through Jamie's tears, I was able to understand that it was not a joke. Words carry weight. Yeah, they really do. They really, really do. And I think it really hit me. I think it really, really, really hit me, like I said, because it was my friend. And I didn't mean it maliciously. Jamie did not overreact. That is so far from the truth, because in her eyes, in her perspective, I said some weird shit all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, so uncalled for. It was super, it was just like, on my end, it may have been unintentional, but it was so cooked. Like, that situation should not have occurred under any circumstance. It really shouldn't have. It really shouldn't have. And I now realize how hurtful that was, because I went back, and after that conversation with Jamie, I was talking to other friends too, and I was trying to piece it together. Because in the beginning, like I said, I was really, really confused. I was like, yo, what's going on? And then that day, as soon as it happened, like 12 hours, I was just talking to friends, trying to figure it out, what had happened. Because like I said, it was intentional. And I talked to a couple people, and I think they put the perspective on me. They helped me understand for someone in a position where they've had hurtful things like that thrown at them day after day, every other hour, on Instagram comments, on Twitter replies, etc., etc. A friend all of a sudden goes on a live broadcast and calls them that. A degrading word like that. That's a no-no. And slowly started hitting. Slowly started understanding. And with that realization, I realized that, hey, you need to watch your mouth. You really need to watch your mouth. Because it's just, it's just the thought of freedom that I had been chasing after for so long was finally here. And I decided to take it and run with it. And I didn't know. I guess I didn't know. I just didn't know how to handle myself. I didn't know how to be a person almost. I am the biggest dumbass of all time, and how I hurt my friend a lot. Very deeply, in fact, that I wasn't able to talk to her for a couple days. And I figured I just gotta be a better person. And I took that problem and I took it and I really thought about it. And after I figured out the situation on why Jamie was upset, tried to reach out. Eventually we had our conversation. I sat down with her, went to her house. We talked it out. She told me, yeah, she pretty essentially she told me what I thought was the case. And she told me, oh, after she saw the whole video, she got it. It was a joke. But at that point, I stayed with the apology because I felt that I had understood why she felt that way in the moment. Whether it was a joke or not, it was uncalled for, it was stupid. It was dumb. I shouldn't have made that joke. And once again, I apologize to anyone that took offense to it. I really am. I think I learned a lot through this experience, and it sucks. It really, really sucks that it took something like this for me to understand and for me to, I think, grow from it. I am so sorry to Jamie, but I think I needed this learning experience. Of course, I would never do it again. Of course, if I could go back, I'd take it back. You know what I mean?